Judge Deskins.
Here.
Master Anderson. Master Johnson. Master Murphy.
Here.
Master Robinson.
Here.
Master Dotson.
Here.
And Master Barney.
Here.
Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Judge, before you get started, I've had several requests that we start putting our buttons down and talking through the mic. The public says when they watch us on TV, they have a hard time picking up anybody talking. And when people in the audience talk, they probably need to come up to the podium where we can get them on the mic. Thank you.
Approval of the minutes of March the 17th, 2015. Roll call, please.
Master Anderson.
Yes.
Master Johnson. Master Murphy.
Yes.
Master Robinson.
Yes.
Master Dotson.
Yes.
Master Barney.
Yes.
Judge Deskins.
Public comment. Bud Kendrick.
Thank you, Judge and Fiscal Court. I'm glad y'all let us come by and show you what we are made of, especially the A-team, Pike County A-team. Right here is a picture of our new hospital. You can pass that around. We went to the groundbreaking about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and about 10 or 12 of us. And we had a brother. You know what Hillbilly Days is all about. It's raising money for the hospital, all right? Back in 1999, we had a brother by the name of Bumper Jack Stiltner who wanted to start our A-team. And Potentate Woods gave him the van and told us to get it started, start raising money for our own use, that the temple couldn't keep us up. So that's what we do. We work on contributions. We have car shows, different stuff like that to raise money. And it's all tax deductible. Anyone that likes to donate to the A-team, that's, we have to buy a part of our gas now. Cardinal Mark used to donate all of our gas, but times got tough, so they cut us back to $300 a month. So we have to have money to keep our vans up. And I'd like to introduce some of my drivers and officers of my team here. Vice President Arlen Rowe, my dispatcher, Chester Aggins, would you please stand as I name you? Darrell Blackburn, Secretary, Jamie Bigford, Treasurer, and these are some of my drivers here. Donnie Kendrick, let me see, Eddie Thacker, Ramsey Cheney, Aaron Justice, Gordon Looney, Nikki Coleman, Ronald Gene Atkins, Larry Green, and Kevin Coleman. We got a lot more than that, but these are the ones, some of them has to work, just like Kemp Bartley, he had to work. So anyway, we appreciate your recognizing us, and during Hillbilly Days here, if you see one around here, if you would like to donate to the A-team, just write us out a check for Pike County A-team. And if you have a kid that needs to go to the hospital, you can contact any one of these guys here. Our names are in the phone book, and we'll be more than glad to help. This past year, I think we serviced almost a little over 100 kids to the hospital. That's in Pike County alone. We service Letcher, Knott, Floyd, and Martin County. We deliver kids from there too. So You know, these guys, I can't say much, enough about them because they're a great bunch of guys. They support all the way. So I'd like to thank the fiscal court for hearing us and listen to our tale. So
Thank you, Bud.
thank you.
But I'd like to say that it's one of the best causes that I've seen that we could do. I've been fortunate to be able to get 2 kids in the hospital in my time, and that's something that I can always look back and cherish, see those children. And, some of them went on to be operators on heavy equipment and things, and they couldn't walk in the beginning. And, that's one of the best things that you guys could do. And most of them brothers back there I've recognized, and I really give them a lot of support.
I too, Judge, I just want to thank each one of you gentlemen personally for the job that you do and the volunteer you do for our kids. And, it just, there's no money value you can put on that. But thank you all.
Judge Deskins, if I may, I've been a Shriner for 42 years, and I am so proud of that fact and so blessed to have been. And I want to say with Hillbilly Days, Bud Kendrick, coming up, that's a lot of fun and frivolity for the community, for the area. It's a great thing, but I would hope that the public would always be mindful that the reason for Hillbilly Days, Judge, as you well know, you're a Mason, a brother Mason, is to support the Shrine's effort with crippled children and with the burn centers. And I want to say Bumper Jack Stiltner, Kelver Stiltner's son from up on Beaver near Elkhorn City, what a great person he was, and he's to be he's left us now. He's passed, unfortunately, had cancer, and for years he dedicated himself to driving, I believe, Bud, I don't know how many years. And I just want to personally say thank you guys for the effort, and say to the public, support the Shrine in this effort for children. Magistrate Dodson, you always say that the people we need to take care of here in this court are the old people and the children. Everybody else can kind of make it for themselves. But thank you, guys. Bless you.
I would just like to say God bless your efforts. I mean, I think it's wonderful.
I too, I've only belonged to the Masons for, I think, 52 years. I don't have to pay dues anymore. Also, I was born over on Johns Creek, a hillbilly. And I've joined a hillbilly club. Anyway, I would like to, as Judge Executive on the behalf of the Pike Fiscal Court of Pike County, we proudly recognize the Pike County Shrine Club, a team of officers for their dedication and outstanding services. Bud Kendrick, President; Aaron Rowe, Vice President; Darrell Blackburn, Secretary; Jamie Bickford, Treasurer; Chester Adkins, Dispatch. I take great pleasure in presenting certificates of appreciation to them in recognition of your valuable and contribution to our community.
I just want to take a second and commend every one of you for what you do, because it's the number one thing going, I believe, and their number one project for Hillbilly Days is try to get enough money to support it, and I urge everybody to come out, and I'll support you all I can.
Hey, Bud, I had a question. I know there used to be used to have a figure about how much it cost, I think, per minute to run the Shriners Hospital, and I'd like to. It kind of makes it. It's kind of an interesting fact because everything they do is, there's no cost to the kids. Is that something that you have off the top of your head?
Yeah, you're talking about the cost of gas and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I know it was so many thousands of dollars that it cost the Shriners, the hospitals,
Right. But
to operate.
we're now like the A-team. The Hillbilly Clan will donate us so much money. We call it a new fan fund. So we can lease buy a van every 3 years during the Hillbilly days, you know. They raise money like that. Okay, Pike County Shrine Club, they're backing us 100%. They donate so much each year to the A-team. I don't want to say a figure, but you know, it's a small figure, but anyway. And Chester Aggins is president of the Whitewater Shrine Club. They donate to us each year, you know, for expenses and stuff.
Right.
All right. Knott County Shrine Club, they donate to us. You know, we've got about 3 or 4 shrine clubs that helps us. We don't ask or hassle for nothing. They keep the insurance and tags and stuff like that up on the vans. If they need repair, we either have to take it to the garage. Prentice Aggins, he donates a little bit to us, you know.
Right.
Rob Lester, Elkhorn Drug, he does, you know. That's just a few people off the top of my head right now that I know that donate to it. But if you make 4 or 5 trips a week here to Lexington, it runs into a lot of gas. And at their main session right now is try to collect money, keep gas, because Cardinal Mart, they had to cut back to $300 a month. 4 trips, 5, you're gone. So we average on about 2 trips a week.
Well, I'd like to thank you and the other gentlemen for everything y'all do.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hey, Judge, would y'all care to come up here after you give out the certificates so we can get some pictures? Yeah, up here, and that way we can get some pictures when everyone's gathered.
Nobody didn't show up that night. I guess he told me he might be going fishing.
Would the court care to go up front here and take a picture with them as well? Y'all care to go take a picture, Leo?
Give him another one on the Otter Trail, and then we need 2 horse people, then we need a neutral. Want to get on that board or something?
Am I gonna do what now?
We're putting you in. I can't.
It's coat and fire. Well, I'll get here in a minute, maybe. Oh, camera's big enough to get all there. You love first day of picture. I got slides everywhere you look. You like that?
I had a few, buddy. I didn't happen not like yours, though. Are they gonna be able to open up Callaway?
They say they are.
Judge, I just now realized when we came forward to get the picture photos made that the fellow I work for, the Pike County Attorney Keith Hall, is present, and he is a past master of Thomas C. Cecil number 375, the Masonic Lodge here in Pikeville, and a Shriner himself. And I just wanted to recognize his presence. You want to say something, Keith? Come up here. I'll give you my chair.
Come on up here, Harm, and talk to us a little bit.
If you don't want to say something, I'll be disappointed.
25 years, and I'm going to pledge to be at the Shrine, the Masons, and Fiscal Court more than I have in the past.
Thank you. Thank you, Judge.
Neil, you have public comment? Yeah, right over there.
Get that mic where you talk.
Who's gonna talk?
Does that work? Yes. Thank you, Judge. I'm here on behalf of the Pike County Board of Education asking the fiscal court to close 3 streets over at Phelps for the construction of a new athletic complex over there for the kids at Phelps. It's 4th Street, Field Street, and Thompson Street that run into K Street over there, where the board has already purchased all of the surrounding property. I think the statutory provision allows for those streets to revert back to the adjacent property owners when they're closed. I've been here and done this before several years ago on another tract of land, but this is for the construction of a new athletic facility there for Phelps High School and the grade school.
Judge, don't want to cut off my friend Neil's water here, but he's correct about the law. And I don't know what streets you said, Neil, but it's Fields Street, which is CR 8710, County Road 8710. 4th Street, which has no county road number, but which the county has maintained. These are all in the unincorporated city limits of Phelps. And Blackburn Street, and I want the public to understand it's not all of Blackburn Street. Right. It's that part of Blackburn Street which runs between 4th Street and K Street.
Correct.
And Judge, they're no longer serving a public purpose. We have met, you've met, Deputy Judge Morris and I, and our road commissioner, Jackie Darrell Smith, and we all agree that these roads that are being requested are bounded on both sides by Board of Education property, and under the law, they're entitled to have these roads closed. And my recommendation is the court do that. And if it is the court's pleasure, maybe there's some questions, but what I'm going to need is a motion of the court authorizing removal of the following streets and roads located in the unincorporated town of Phelps, to wit, 4th Street, which has no county road number, Field Street, County Road 8710, and that part of Blackburn Street running between and from 4th Street over to K Street, about a block long or whatever. Said streets and roads no longer serving a public purpose and being bounded on each side by property wholly owned by the Pike County School Board, property on which the board anticipates a very good thing. That is the construction of the athletic facilities for Phelps High School. Now, that removal and that motion would be subject to the following required procedures. This is what the court has to do to comply with law, Judge Deskin. Publication of a public hearing to close these roads. 3 notices placed in strategic places, that's the statutory language, near the streets and roads to be removed. That would be done by the road commissioner. And a public hearing to be held April the 21st, 2015 at 9:30 a.m. in the Pike County Fiscal Courtroom. That would be just prior to the next court meeting, and we'll have final action on this motion at that time. But I would need a motion to initiate that procedure, a motion, a second, a majority vote.
John, before you get the motion, I'd like to speak a little bit on it. Talking to Neil prior to this meeting, he was unaware that we were needing a small space to restore our little community park in that area. And on behalf of the people's request, we appreciate what you're doing, but we also need a small area, probably no bigger than this room, to establish our picnic shelter and our swings and sliding board for our children. There was numerous of picnics and baby showers and parties and everything that they done there before we took them down. And you know, I don't have a problem with giving the streets to you guys, and I'll make a motion, but I would like to have something in writing, because we've had so many slip-ups, that promises that we've not been able to fulfill. And if we can, I know y'all bought additional properties there, it would be a joint effort by the school board and by the county, like we always had in the past for probably 30 years down there at the old park. We didn't own the property, but we was given permission from the school board to put the little park in there. And my understanding, talking to David Lester, is y'all gonna do the walking track around the football field.
That's my understanding, yes.
And, you know, if so, then we would only need enough room to put our picnic shed back up with our benches and our playground equipment, which we have in storage at the Phelps Maintenance Garage. And thanks to our public works crew, they were able to take this stuff down and not damage it. And we're just anxious to get it put back up and see the field in motion over there. We don't want to hold up anything, John. And, you know, if you could, between now and the next meeting, maybe we can get some kind of a agreement with the school board to enter into a lease or long-term lease that we could use that little bit of property.
We have a meeting Thursday night, Hillman, and I'll talk to Mr. Lester and the board members and see what we can do. I certainly will.
Well, John, would it be a appropriate time to make the motion to do that? Would the judge need to do that, or
the judge or any magistrate can make the motion or require a second and majority vote, and this is to initiate the procedure. The law requires these steps before we would vote on it at the next meeting. That would give my friend Neil time to get with the board and have a response back to you. And so we'll take it up at the next meeting, but we do need this motion to start this procedure today.
Motion.
I'll make a
Second.
motion. Second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Dotson?
Yes.
Mr. Varney?
Yes.
Judge Deskin?
Yes.
Judge, thank you. John, Doug, thanks very much. Hillman, thank you. Thank you all.
All right, adoption.
Judge, before we go on, I think we've got some people here from the four-wheeler club that would like to address the court tonight? We had a meeting last week, and I see several of them back there in the audience, and I think at this time, if you would allow them, they'd like to address the court.
How you guys doing? I'm Taylor Justice with Wide Open Outdoors, and I'm here with the Fish Trap Recreation Club that we have here at, and we've met once a month for the last, I don't know, year and a half, maybe a little longer, that we've actually been trying to get an ATV trail, a legal ATV trail here in this area for we all know that this is, they've done this in West Virginia already, and it's something that we've been really passionate about. These guys have been passionate about, and I think they've actually, in the past, even had some of the roads even mapped out, and some of them's even surveyed them and things. And if I'm not mistaken, there's even a fund for this that has already been set up. And I guess one of the requests that we're making is to find out where those funds are now, and what has not been depleted or what's not been done anything with, and to also figure out what we need to do to move forward to be able to make this happen for our area, to have an ATV trail, a legal ATV trail done for this. I think some of the money out of that was used, if I'm not mistaken, for some of the bathrooms and things like that was made for, I don't know. Yeah, it's something like that.
It was used to build a trailhead restroom over at Hatfield-McCoy Park.
Okay, yeah, I knew it was something like that.
It's right near Mate One there, and it's finished and ready to go.
Okay, so that's what and that's what we're here today to find out. To make this be able to happen here in our area, so that we can have something like that. And I think it's going to bring a lot of people to our area. I know we all know that we need something like that around here with the the depletions of the coal mines have been down and lots of things. So bringing people to this area to keep money funneling in here is going to be in our best interest, I think. And this is a great way to be able to do that with something that we already have and something that's been proven to work already in another state. So that's what we're here today for, to find out, I guess, what we need to do to move forward with this, and to let you know that that's what we're proposing to do.
Taylor, I'd also like to bring the other magistrates up what we're doing here tonight. They wasn't able to be at our meeting the other night over at Phelps, but in our meeting we discussed not only an ATV trail, but this will be a water trail and a horse trail. And we're going to call it the Adventure Tourism Trail. They had a name for it, Taylor, but whatever it's going to be, we need to get a committee. Judge Rutherford was going to appoint a board of director over the trail system, and right at the end of his tenure, he decided to wait and let this new court go ahead and appoint some board members, and have probably about 7 board members to represent all 3 deals. And I think in our 4-wheeler meeting the other night, they agreed that they would have 2 for the 4-wheelers, 2 for the horses, and 2 for the water trails, and 1 kind of neutral that would kind of help bring it together. Yeah. So, that's where we are, and I think in the meeting they'd asked the court to find out about the monies, and our treasurer has located all the monies. She does a good job, and she keeps us up to date on what we do have to spend. Okay. And they were wanting to set a ride for, what was it, Willie? 25th of this month, and they're going to meet up at Elkhorn City at the park there. I guess it's where the city hall is, down under next to the river up there. And they're going to have a meeting there at 11 o'clock, wasn't it, Willie? And anybody in the county that wants to ride four-wheelers that day, they're invited. And I think they're wanting to try to do a little food or something for them that day, little dinner or something. And, I just want to say that this committee has stuck together for a long time, about maybe 2 years. And, they're firm in what they believe in, and they want to try to get something done. And I think John Doug is going to try to come up with some kind of stipulations that we can use the four-wheelers in the county. It will take him some time to draft it up. And then, this money's, I think Lisa's going to address the money situation in a few minutes for us and tell us where we stand with it. And at this time, probably I need to let John Doug tell you about what he's going to have to do on getting this ordinance drawn up.
Master Dawson, I have a question. You talked about a committee. You were referring to a board of directors or board members, and Judge Deskins, of course, you're going to have to take the lead on this, and along with this court, as you always do, but you can have an ad hoc committee, and that's what you had, an informal committee, or you can have an ATV board that is recognized in the county ordinances, and we can do that by ordinance and set forth exactly the number of members of that committee, the terms of their election, staggered terms, and so forth. I can have that ready by the next court meeting if that's the court's desire, Judge. The other thing I know that we can do immediately is that pursuant to state law, the Kentucky Revised Statutes, this court has authority over its own roads, the county road system. Now, we have no authority over state roads or federal roads. There's other laws which govern that, but I can draft an ordinance allowing use of four-wheelers, off-road vehicles on county roads, subject to certain restrictions that are set forth in the Kentucky Revised Statute. I don't know if you fellows were present at the meeting that I attended. I know Hillman Dotson was.
I was.
Well over a year ago, and we talked about that, and there was even a question, as you'll recall, about
lights on the back.
Yes, yes,
yeah.
and I've done that research. I'm ready to move on that. That wouldn't be any problem. There have to be lights or safety restrictions and so on and so forth. You don't, and this court doesn't want, and I don't want to put the traveling public at any risk whatsoever, nor the operators of off-road vehicles at any risk. So whatever this court does, we'll have to comply with the Kentucky Revised Statute in that regard, but I can have that ready for the next meeting. Now, the one thing I want to make you aware of, and I've said it, and sometimes, Judge, when I tell what the law is, it doesn't make me very popular. The law specifically provides that you cannot go on other people's property without the property owner's permission. If you do, you're trespassing, frankly, but so this court can't condone trespass. This court must follow the law, and we will, Master Dodson, I love four-wheelers, and these guys, I love these guys, and you too, but we'll do everything we can, and I'll do everything. I'm going to talk with Representative Harris, who was at that meeting, and get, and Ray Jones, Senator Ray Jones was at the meeting also. Judge Deskins attended that meeting and drove over there by himself. But frankly, I wish I'd have been there, but I wasn't, and so I'll get it done, and I don't know anything about the money. Right there's the lady who knows all about the money, or if she doesn't know about it, she'll find out about it. Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Hillman.
Thank you, John. And I think Lisa said she was ready to address the money situation. That's what we were wanting. They was wanting to know what was still available.
We're all real, and we've talked about this in the club before in the past and everything. Safety is a big issue. It's always been with the companies that I've worked for, and And doing it the right way is the way that we want to do this. In no form or fashion do we want to change the law or make it anything that's going to be putting a risk on people doing it. We just want to bring something to this area that I think has been long coming. I think it's something that it took a long time, even over in West Virginia, to get going. And one of the things that brought that to him was the fact that they had somebody who actually was dedicated just to that. And, you know, we all know that if somebody who's not passionate about it or who wants to do it, and with this club, they have been really great about sticking together, about meeting. There's not a lot of us, but we hope to change that in the future and have more people come on board with that. And we just request that the court take this into consideration and to see what we can do to move forward. And John Doug's been great about finding out the laws, whether it makes you popular or not. It is what it is, and we know we have to follow those. And so we're more than willing to do that. We just want to follow the procedure the way we need to and make sure that this don't get left behind and that we move forward with it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Judge, I think Lisa is going to tell them how much money they have, if it's all right. Or the court has.
Court has. First, want to say we are working hard at trying to get the motorized and non-motorized trails for Pike County. We have 3 pots of money, and Jonda will attest to that. We have what was called the Hatfield-McCoy Trail Development Fund, and it started out with $100,000. Right now, we have $8,641 in that. We had the Kentucky Mountain Trail Development Fund. It started out with $90,000. There's $9,262 in that. We also have the Fish Trap ATV Trail, which had $100,000, and we still have $100,000 in that. The thing about this is we've got the deadlines on these projects to utilize this money by June 2016, but we also have to realize that DLG, when we write these line items up, there's a scope, and we have to abide by that scope. So in the meantime, I have been working with DLG to make sure that we can transpose the scope a little bit, still stay within the scope site, but to be able to use it for our new trail system. So we're hoping to do that. In the meantime, we're updating the scope to make sure it has motorized and non-motorized. We're also redoing the budget because we have to draft in all of these items that we have. Funding scenario, this won't pay for all of it, so we're going to have to break it down in sections and start with to do with what we have and then find more money, and that's another thing that we'll do in our office. And work with DLG till we can use these funds and use them for what projects we have available. Right now, the PVA's office has our maps, and they are going through trying to see what the county owns, property, all the land, the private landowners, public landowners, so we'll know who we can go and address, and we may have to change the mapping of the trail just so we can accommodate from avoiding somebody's private property, and then finding easements for that.
Lisa, the monies that was used for the bathhouse, and then the other pot of money that was used for the mapping of the trail system, right?
That'll be a Jonda question. I just learned about this first January.
Whenever she was mentioning how much was left of the Kentucky Mountain Trail System, I think the majority of that went to Summit Engineering to do the mapping. It's what that was for.
I just wanted the public to understand where this money has been spent, Jonda. You know, there were some questions how much we had and what we used it for, and we used quite a bit of it for the Hatfield-McCoy bathhouses over there, and that's going to be a trailhead for this trail system, joining with Mate One and over in West Virginia and the Hatfield-McCoy Trail over there.
Right.
But we were able to use that money to do this bathhouse, and it is a real nice bathhouse. And then the other part of the money went for mapping of the trails that we have all the property owners listed on a map, and a map that Summit Engineer done for us, so we know where we need to go with the landowners. And I'm hoping that the judge will probably appoint somebody that will kind of head this thing up and work with all the members. And I thank you for going over to the river trail, you and Bobby, and riding the river trail there. And you know, that's a project that I think we all agree that we can probably get off the ground pretty quick, because you only have a few property owners that we got to get permission to build these little water trails. And what we want to do for the public's knowledge is to build some ramps where we can put boats in the river and have some picnic sheds and places where you can take your family, or if you want to put a canoe in and ride from one point to the other. And this trail goes from the Virginia line all the way to Martin County. So, you know, it's quite a bit of a trail, and Bobby is involved in that pretty heavy, and he might want to comment a little bit on it.
Just one thing, John, sometime in the not distant future, could you give us a breakdown of those monies, how they were spent, and those different trail things?
Yeah.
And I think it would be better than, if you get that in writing for us, if someone asks a question, Hillman can refer to that, you know.
Isn't that right, Jody, that you all, on the Kentucky Mountain Trail money, that was what you all used it for, to do the mapping? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was most of it.
Yeah, but in my district, we're kind of excited about it. Talking to people on the West Virginia side too, they're a little excited about it, that we could have a canoe ride basically from Virginia and go down to Martin County, and you could go on down to Louisa, Kentucky, really, real easy on the Tug River down through there. So I think there's potential there for some good stuff. It's not going to take a whole lot of money, but of course it's going to take money, you know. But I'm really excited about it and willing to put forth the effort, the work, and everything else that we can do. And Lisa's been great working with her on trying to get some grant money and stuff to do that.
And Lisa, also, I'd like to invite the city to come aboard. You know, they've got the canoes over here on the river, but that'll expand their tourism to our river trails on the Tug River, and they should be able to have more for the people coming in to do. And we would like to invite them to participate and come on board and help us with these things, because, you know, if it's good for the city, it's good for Pike County, and vice versa. And you know, we're just wanting to include them because they've got this tourism thing going good, and it'll help them promote their business.
And I do have to say that Pikeville has been attending our Pike County tourism meetings, and vice versa. The county is now attending the Pikeville tourism meetings too as well. So they are becoming more interested in working with us on this. And as far as your committee, I would like to see the committee be able to do to concentrate on motorized, non-motorized trails and the river trail. So we can concentrate on all of them together and form one committee to be able to do all of this.
Lisa, I think that's what we decided to try to do, and I think the judge, Ray Jones, Chris Harris, and myself were in the last meeting we had, and they're going to work on the state level on the things they can do. Right. And you know, the judge is committed himself to promoting this thing. And Judge, we don't want to take all the talking from you. You might want to say something here about this. You was in the meeting with us that night over there. If you don't go over to the mic, they can't hear what you're saying.
And what I think he's asking is and if you correct me if I'm wrong, he wants to know about how much it would cost. Is it to finish the projects, or to start looking at the projects, or just the money in general to spend on it? Well, right now we're talking to DLG, which is Department of Local Government in Frankfort. According to these line items, we have to keep them separate. We got one for the fish trap, We have one for Kentucky Mountain Trail. We have one for Hatfield-McCoy. But what we're trying to get the DLG, which is Department of Local Government, to do is to combine the scope to where we can use these funds on this project. So hopefully, if, working on that, Jonda will have to give us a correct number. We'll have to work with DLG. We do know we have 100,000 in one account. Or now, please understand, DLG holds its money until we draw down. Is that correct? It's not like we have this money to work with.
Well, Senator Jones said he was going to go and talk to DLG, and,
Correct.
they control this purse of money right now, so,
Correct.
it's probably in the right hands if we can get
Yeah.
this, and he talked like he was in favor of trying to help us.
All right, we will work with him and we'll see what we can do. And hopefully by the next meeting, we'll have an update in our committee and a budget to go by and a funding scope to look at. Yes, sir.
So I guess, in closing, everybody's ready to ride on April the 25th at 11 o'clock at Elkhorn City Hall Park up there. Is that right, Willie? So, Judge, you want to say anything? I'm about to talk there.
Well, we need to put this, we need to put this together, and,
He's on.
is that any louder? You all need to put it together and I'll approve it.
Glad you heard that.
Now, on public, Irene Sturgeon, are you here? And I'm sorry, I kind of overlooked you, honey.
Good evening. My name is Irene Sturgeon.
And I'm Scarlett King.
And we both are caring mothers for autistic children. And I have a 15-year-old who was diagnosed with autism when he was 21 months. And we've been associated with autism awareness and autism awareness walk since the very beginning. This is our 7th year. Each year, we have more people come out and participate. And I'm here this evening to invite everyone to join us again this year. We'd like to see more people in education participate in the walk. Teachers, occupational therapists, speech therapists, the people who treat these children on a daily basis and work to improve the quality of their lives. My 15-year-old has come a long way since the beginning of the events. He now says he's not autistic, and this is a direct result of the help we've received from those working to help these children. People don't realize that numbers of autistic children are growing in this country every day, and that includes the number of children in Pike County. There are mothers and fathers out there with autistic children who have questions, but no answers. They feel alone and don't realize that there are other parents in the same position they are, people who understand the difficulties of raising children diagnosed with autism. We can answer these questions, so let me just say, please join us, everyone, including the members of the official court. It only takes a few minutes to drive to Pikeville and participate. But the good thing that is accomplished lasts much longer. And we want to invite everyone out for a free t-shirt, free food, music. Autistic children are like snowflakes. They're all different. They all have problems, but these problems can be solved with the proper support. Thank you for your time.
And I just want to say, by promoting the Autism Walk that we're getting one step closer to a society where the autism or individuals with autism are truly valued for their unique talents and gifts. Thank you all.
Thank you, ladies.
Judge, I'd like to say that I'd like to commend Irene on the work she's been doing over the years, and she's helped hold this thing together and takes a big part every year on the walk. And Irene, I just want to commend you on the work, and we never know who's going to be next.
Thank you, ladies.
Motion on that proclamation.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson? Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Mr. Barney?
Yes.
Judge Desk?
Yes. Next, adoption of a proclamation naming April the 25th, 2015 as Autism Awareness Day in Pike County.
That's just what we voted on, Judge.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to read. Autism is a lifelong developmental disability which occurs approximately in 1 in 68 American children. More specifically, it's estimated that 1 in 42 boys and 1 in 189 girls are diagnosed with autism in the United States. Cause of autism are not fully understood and usually appears during the first 3 years of life and has been found throughout the world in families of all ethnic and social backgrounds. Early diagnosis, research, training, education, and therapy are vital to reducing the effect of autism. Speech and language may be absent or delayed, and cognitive abilities may be affected, causing the person with autism to relate in abnormal ways to people, objects, events, and causing great stress to families. We've had made great strides in understanding the autism spectrum, and today, children and adults with autism are leading independent and productive lives. However, barriers are still remain for these individuals and their families. As a nation, we share a responsibility to ensure persons living with autism has the opportunity to pursue their full measure and happiness and achieve their greatest potential. We are moving closer to a world free of discrimination and full of understanding for our family members and friends living with autism. The annual East Kentucky Autism Walk is Saturday, April 25th, 2015, beginning at 11 a.m. in front of the East Kentucky Exposition Center. Now, therefore, the Pike County Fiscal Court does hereby proclaim Saturday, April 25th, 2015, as Autism Awareness Day in Pike County. We encourage all citizens to show their support of autism awareness and become better educated on the subject of autism spectrum disorders. And if I understand correctly, it's 11 o'clock in front of the East Kentucky Exposition Center. Free hot dogs. She's shaking her head yes. Free chips, free T-shirts, free music for anyone that wants to come. Outstanding. Good luck. Me too.
John Doug, please present the first reading of a proposed ordinance amending the Pike County road system. Done that?
Judge, I think that's what we did on the Board of Education's request. I apologize, I jumped the gun on our agenda.
It's all right.
Well, we started the process. We still haven't voted, right?
That's correct. We just initiated the process. This has to be advertised. It has to be posted in 3 conspicuous places. We have to have a public hearing, and when we've done all that, at the next meeting, we'll vote.
Next is acknowledgement of a receipt of the Pike County Sheriff's audit for settlement of 2013 taxes for the period April the 24th, 2013 through May the 5th, 2014.
Motion to acknowledge.
Second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson? Mr. Murphy? Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Mr. Barney?
Yes.
Judge Deskins?
Yes. Acknowledgement of a receipt to the budget of the Pike County Conservation District for July the 1st, 2015, June the 30th, 2016. I need a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson? Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Mr. Barney?
Yes.
Judge Deskins?
Yes. Approval of contract between Pike County Board, Pike County Fiscal Court, and D&B Repair.
Judge, I'd like to find out a little more about that.
If I may, Judge?
Can you give us your comments?
I can. This is a contract. D&B is Don Bevins, actually, and he has done this for, I guess, the last 3 years. Is that correct, John? 3 or 4 years, or so? Maybe 5 or 6. It's not. I'm sorry.
Just process.
At this price, the same price. The money is in the budget, and I can't recall, what is it, 9,500 or so. He's the fellow who gets all the voting paraphernalia ready. He gets all of that out to the precincts. He makes sure all precinct voting places are ADA compliant, that is Americans with Disabilities Act compliant. That's part of his contract. This contract expired on the last day of the previous administration. Now, as I said, the money's in the budget up until the beginning of the new fiscal year on July 1st. But he didn't have a contract, and so this contract is only through the primary election of this year, and then the court will have to determine what it wants to do thereafter, Magistrate Dodson. Actually, under the law, it is the responsibility of the county clerk to take care of this, and I think this court, with William Pearl, only entered into the previous contract with this regard to help the county clerk. So that's what it's about. If you need any other information, I'd be happy to.
I know now what you're saying, but the way it was written up, right, DMB repair, I didn't know what we were talking about. I understand now.
I don't know if DNB repair is the correct name. Is it repair on the contract? All right, thank you.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson?
Yes.
Magistrate Johnson?
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy?
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson?
Yes.
Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Burney?
Yes.
Judge Desigan?
Yes. John Doug, please present the first reading of proposed ordinance amending the Pike County Administrative Code.
Judge, all boards formally established by this court are listed in our Pike County Administrative Code. As a matter of fact, as I am proceeding to review that, hopefully to have it ready by June to make amendments to that, there's a number of boards that we need to do away with that are no longer needed, no longer active. But in the last days of the previous administration, this court approved the articles or the bylaws, that is, of the Pike County Museum Board. However, I guess in the rush to get things done, we never formally set up the board in our code, and we need to do that. That code will establish how members are appointed and how often they're appointed and who appoints. And so I'll read this, Judge, in summary form, if that's agreeable. The Pike County Museum Board is composed of 9 members, with 3 members appointed by the mayor of the city of Pikeville and affirmed by the county judge executive, 3 members appointed by the Pike County Judge Executive, approved by the Fiscal Court, and affirmed by the mayor of the city of Pikeville. 1 member shall be a board member of the Pike County Tourism Convention and Visitors Bureau and shall be selected by unanimous vote of that bureau. 1 member shall be a board member of the Pikeville City Tourism Convention and Visitors Bureau and selected by unanimous vote of that bureau. And 1 member shall be appointed by the president of the University of Pikeville. And then this amendment to the code will set out each one of these appointments and the term. They are staggered terms, as are practically all boards. That board is up and running and has been for a number of months. As a matter of fact, this court, I believe, Judge, at the last meeting, approved the appointment of David Deskin. So this is just a formality to amend the code, to put in the code what in effect is already going on. Nothing new or unusual about it. And so if there's no question, it would take this would take a motion and no, I'm sorry, that would be a first reading, Judge, and so I'd be happy to answer any questions.
There's no vote at this time. Now, John Doug, please present the second reading of a proposed ordinance amending the Pike County road system.
Judge, this is the second reading of an ordinance of the Pike County Fiscal Court adopting certain roads in the county road system in summary form. It is a road in District Number 1. The road name is Lawson Hill. It's in the Pike Floyd Hollow. The length of that road is 1,400 feet, and I believe Magistrate Anderson represents that area and has requested that we include this in the county road system. This is a second reading. It's been duly advertised, and it would require a motion, a second, and a majority vote.
Motion.
Second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson? Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Mr. Varney?
Yes.
Judge Deskins?
Yes. Please, John Doug, please present the second reading of a proposed ordinance amending the Pike County road system again.
An ordinance of the Pike County Fiscal Court adopting a certain road into the county road system in summary form. This is a road in District 1. The road name is Thacker Road. The length of that road is 2,000 feet. This is a second reading. This road also was requested to be included in the county road system for the information of the court by Magistrate Anderson. As I said, this is a second reading. This has been duly advertised. It would require a motion, a second, and a majority vote.
Motion.
Need a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson? Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Mr. Varney?
Yes.
Judge Deskins?
Yes. Adoption of a resolution in support of the 2015 recycling grant and authorization to execute documents. Lisa?
Thank you, Judge. This one, I'm going to probably let Bobby Mullins talk about it. We are applying for a regional grant for recycling. It's the 2015-2016 Kentucky Pride Fund Recycling Grant, and Bobby can.
It's just a grant that we receive every year from the state. It's some money that we can take in. And it's just some things we apply for. There's certain items that can be purchased with it, and we're going to apply for some roll-off dumpsters, and we're going to apply for some little recycle buildings that we're trying to get enough of those recycle buildings to place at each school in Pike County. And I was able to get 5 last year. I'm applying for, we're asking for 10 this year. And usually what we do, we ask for about 10, we get about 5. So then next year we have to go through it all again, and that's what it is for.
I need a motion.
Motion.
Second.
I need a motion to adopt a resolution supporting the 2015 recycling grant and authorize an execution of documents.
You got it.
Okay.
Need a
We
vote.
just need roll call.
Roll call vote.
Okay. Roll call vote.
Mr. Anderson? Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Mr. Varney?
Yes.
Judge Deskins?
Yes. Lisa, on the Solid Waste Commissioner, Bobby Mullins, do you have comments on the Development Director?
Actually, Judge, we're talking about, this one is a 2015, March 2015, because of the flood event that we had here in the county, that we are asking for emergency funds to eliminate illegal open dump resulting from that flood. And Bobby can explain more about that, but we are applying for grant money on that.
Thank you.
Okay, this is a new grant, Judge, that just come out this year, and it's for flood debris, removal of flood debris and so forth that is due to the March flooding. And we're just asking for that, and we can receive up to $20,000 on this particular grant. And that will just help pay for the cost of any flood debris and everything that we would take to the landfill, so that's what this is.
So it's up to 20,000, that number hasn't been set yet?
No, it depends upon our need is,
Bobby, are we applying for the grant, or we already got it? Would it, the cleanup we're doing right now, could we use that as in-kind toward the money we're getting for cleanup?
As long as it is flood debris removal, we can use that and spend down on this. Is that
right.
correct?
And Bobby has been tracking this from day one, so they will go back and refund what the overage was or what from our landfill. And no, I can't say we got it, but out of 28 counties, they are giving us the option to 10 to 20,000 for each county that was had an emergency for the flood.
All right, we get that money this year too, right, Lisa?
Correct.
And you have tracked certain items, Bobby, at the landfill with flood removal items?
Yes, we have counts set up at our scale house there that people is bringing in, like if the county's going out and cleaning up, when we run it across the scales, we have to have the tonnage and everything and keep up with all this, so we're doing that.
Yeah,
Bobby, can we use that money toward payments on our equipment we're getting ready to purchase? Can't do it?
No.
What's it have to do, go into the general fund?
It actually he has to provide receipts for I guess, trucks, removal, overage fees. There's certain things that he can apply for with this 20,000 to obtain. We also want to look at, and Judge, and I'm sure Bobby will look at it, that Coal Run, other cities that are in the county, we can actually help through our county to help them with some of the tipping fees and stuff that are the overage from the flood.
Bobby, is this something that you used to buy your equipment in the past with this grant?
No, not this. This is a completely new thing. It's just for the flood for March is sort of an emergency grant thing that was there.
What can you use the money for?
Just like if we have to go out and clean up a place where it's been flooded, it will pay the landfill tipping fees for us. It pays for the use of our truck. It pays for the operator of that truck, and
So it goes into the solid waste account?
Yes.
And after it goes into your account, you can't use it toward purchasing things that you need?
Then we can do what we want to with it.
Well, that's what I was trying to find out. You know, we just purchased them trucks, and maybe we can have an offset when we get into our budget to use that toward help paying.
We need a motion in a second.
Correct.
Motion. Roll call, please.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Mr. Varney?
Yes.
Judge Deskins?
Yes. Discuss approved of the IPAWS amendment for Code Red system. Assistant County Attorney Hayes comments. Judge Tackett comments.
Hello.
Go ahead, Doug. Judge, and I want to say that I've reviewed this addendum to the contract and do not see any problems with it from a legal standpoint. I have discussed it with Doug, and he can briefly give us the Reader's Digest version of what we're doing here. IPAWS, I didn't realize, stands for Integrated Public Alert Warning System. We know it as Code Red. Go ahead, Doug.
Well, actually, it enhances our Code Red capabilities. With Code Red, people subscribe to the system, and we have a commercial database of phone numbers that we can call to do mass notifications. The IPAWS section of this will allow us to not only do those alerts we do now, but also send alerts to the wireless emergency alert system on cell phones that aren't subscribed, as well as the emergency alert system across commercial broadcast media.
Need a motion in a second.
Judge, for the benefit of the court, and John can confirm this, I'm sorry, I asked Doug if the money was in the budget, and he tells me it is in his budget, and
I have a line item.
All right. Thank you, Doug.
Motion.
Okay, thank you.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Mr. Varney?
Yes.
Judge Deskins?
Yes. Awarding of bids.
Frankie.
Judge, I have one bid to present to the court. It's Bid number 22 for 2015, it's for one 2014 or newer model crew cab 4x4 pickup truck. We received one bid from Deskins Motor Company of Pikeville. Total bid price $27,995. The model quoted was a 2014 Dodge Ram 1500 pickup truck. No exceptions to the bid specs. Delivery within 5 days after bid award, with the remainder of factory warranty intact. And it is recommended to award this bid to Deskins Motor Company with the lowest evaluated bid price of $27,995. Also, from the last court meeting, we had a bid that was tabled. It was bid number 3 of 2015 for a concrete bridge at Brushy Fork Road, District 1. And as of today, there still is no agreement with the coal company to pay for that bridge. So I would recommend that we table this bid until such a time that a contract with the coal company to pay for the bridge is executed.
You need two different motions, Frankie.
No, you can do it under one.
Okay. Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Mr. Barney?
Yes.
Judge Deskins?
Yes.
That's all I have, Judge.
Roll call, please, I guess. Motion in a second.
We got it.
Got it? Okay. All right, Magistrate's Road Work.
Motion.
Second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Mr. Barney?
Yes.
Judge Deskins?
Yes. Magistrate's comments.
Judge, just a couple of things. I was going to ask, we were talking about the debris removal earlier. Do we have, when FEMA came in last Thursday, I believe, they had talked about some designated sites, dump sites. Do we have any, other than the landfill, that we're, if we end up having to do a lot of dumping, that we can use?
We've had those permitted, as long as it's a permitted dump site, you know, like the ones we've used in the past, like I think down the Hatcher property,
Yeah.
it was a permitted site.
That's one we
As long as
used
it's
a
a
lot.
permitted site up out of the floodplain,
We're okay?
yeah,
Okay.
it should be fine.
Okay. And one other thing, Judge, I was going to mention, I think it's April the 16th, there's a public hearing, and I think it's, the Public Service Commission is going to be at the Pikeville High School Auditorium, and they're going to be discussing the mountain water rate increase, and I think the Kentucky Power rate increase, the 16th. I think it's at 5 o'clock, I believe. Is that, Russ? Okay. So we might want to, you know, get some people out.
Do them both together.
Yeah, I think they're going to do them both together.
Where's that at, Jeff?
5 and 6, okay, at the auditorium down at Pikeville High School. And I also wanted to acknowledge and commend Magistrate Dodson. I noticed he went to a Mountain Water Board meeting and got had asked some questions that we all have been asking about the records and was Bobby there that time, or was you at the meeting with Hillman? Okay.
Yeah. That's my little buddy.
Okay. Well, I think Hillman got all the headlines then. But anyway, next Thursday, the 16th, you know, if we can get some people out, I think we need to do that and try to, you know, it affects all of us in Pike County. And it's a pretty hefty rate increase on the water side, and I'm not sure, I think it's about a $20 a month increase. 159% on the water, on the mountain water side. On the sewer, I'm not sure what's the water rate increase. 22. So basically 180% rate increase. But that's all I have, Judge, right now.
Johnson?
Judge, I've been sick here for about 2 or 3 weeks. I want to thank people for having patience with me and through that flood there. I got started off heavy in the flood, but I got the first water hole and had a little accident. But I want people to be patient with me. I know I've had some calls. I might have forgotten, but if I have, I hate it, and I hope to get back with the public. And what damage is in my district, I hope to get it fixed real shortly.
Okay, Judge, I fully understand that the whole county is got devastation right now. But District 3 is absolutely overwhelmed with slides and things like that. We got some so big, we'll work on them a little bit and move to another one. Time we get there, the other one slip back in. We need help big time, and I see a couple gentlemen from Upper Pompey. We got plenty of devastation over there, and it's actually scary looking at the breaks and slides over there. And Judge, if at all possible, I'd like for you to get with the road commissioner and the road foreman and go into Upper Pompey and look at some of those breaks and things, and hopefully call for help anywhere we can get it from, because there ain't no way Pike County can take care of all this stuff. No way. We got to have plenty of help, and I sure appreciate your help on it.
Jack and Darrell will get together on that.
I've got a few slides, but what I've got is big ones. And I think Jack and Darrell's already looked at it, but we need a lot of money to fix it with, if we ever get to it.
Which is your biggest slide?
It's up in Ford's Branch, and then we got one in the head of Sycamore. That in Ford's Branch is the worst.
I think that's the one in CRS is looking at, correct, Frankie?
It's a long way down.
Turned in Sycamore, Ford's Branch, and Rock House.
Yeah. But that in Ford's Branch is the biggest one.
I think that's the one they're looking at. Yeah. They told me that we should hear something back in the next week or two on that, but it's a big job, huge.
Yeah, it's big.
Yeah.
Troy Williams with NRCS, he said that he's going to be up here tomorrow bringing some of the higher up people in the NRCS program to try to get them to approve some money for some of these bigger projects. The only project they've approved so far is some stream debris clean out over in District 5. But some of these bigger slides and road slips and stuff like that, he's going to bring in some higher people that may get some money approved for those. And he should be in the county, I think he said tomorrow and maybe Thursday.
I sure hope so. That's all I got.
Judge, I'd like to say, Frankie, I don't know if my road foreman has reported we had this last round of flooding over the weekend. A few more big slides, and we got the road opened up, but there's still a lot of removal on the debris, and maybe you can get Troy to go look at them. And we're doing the best we can. Our employees worked about 11 o'clock with Jack there on Friday night, I think it was, after the big rain, and we go from one slide to the other, and our main job was trying to get the roads opened up to where people could get in and out. And we lost one road over on State Route 194 between Freeburn and Majestic. They've blocked it completely. The river went in and the road settled down. So I don't know, that's one of the main state roads, that state will be taking care of that. But the people will be out of use of that road for some time. But I'd like to say that it does me good to see Kenneth and Chick and Bobby. They're all looking good. I don't know what kind of medicine they're getting, but it's helping them. And
We're feeling better, him, we don't look no good.
But y'all, we're glad y'all are doing good and back with us.
I'm glad to be back.
And all the people that out here that's working for you, Judge, they're on top of things. And my road foreman has lost 2 men in the last week. They're all sick, so we're doing the best we can. We got one temporary man filling in, but we had another one today that got sick and had to go to the hospital. So, they're overworked and underpaid, I guess you'd want to say it, and we like to see them taken care of down the road and try to do the best we can with them. But, Judge, I've got quite a few little things here I need to talk to you about in the court. We've got one serious problem over on Papaw. The Coal Hall Road is just about impassable again. We worked about 3 or 4 days on it a couple of weeks ago, and they had it in good shape. And then the water trucks, due to the dust, had to go in and put water on it, and now the people can't get through it again. And I've contacted the coal company, and I think Jack and I went and talked to him again today. But I told him if something ain't done, we're gonna have to set a weight limit or do something to secure that road. And I think there's 3 coal companies involved, and I would appreciate if Jackie could get a meeting set up with you and see what their plans are. You know, our plans are to fix the road and get it to where the people, our obligation is to them. And, you know, the sad part about it is the coal is mined in Virginia, and the trucks are mostly from Virginia, but they're tearing the Kentucky roads up, and we're not getting any pay for it. And, you know, we've got to see the coal keep going. You know, we want it to run. But on the other hand, we've got an obligation to the people that we got to make sure they can get in and out of their homes. And I just thought it was time for us to try to resolve that problem. And I told the people that we would see what we could do to get it worked on.
Can you and Jackie Darrell get together, and I'm available anytime to talk to them?
I talked to Sam today. He's Apex main man. He's been gone on vacation. I tried to get up with him last week, but he got back yesterday. And he told me today he was willing to sit down with the rest of the 2 other coal companies and try to work out some kind of settlement that was mutual to us. So I got to get hold of United and the other, which one's the other one, him?
Yeah, TECO and United.
And, but he talked to Master Dotson there also about it, and so he's willing to get to a meeting and we'll try to work this thing out for satisfaction of the people.
Well, could you get a hold of the other 2 coal companies?
Yes, I will.
And talk to them that we want to talk together?
Yep.
Okay. Number 6.
I'm not done yet, Judge. About 30 more minutes. No, I'll not be that long. But we've got another problem, Bobby, over on Johns Creek, near the High Ridge mining operation over there. There's an old church that used to sit there right on the main road. And I only got a couple walls standing. I don't know who owns the property. But, you know, if the coal company owns it, it would be real easy for them to just push the walls over and clean it up. They've done a lot of cleanup over there on that operation, but it's High Ridge Mining, right near their office.
Say it's on the right of the road going up.
Be on the right going toward Phelps. Just a part of an old church, been there for years, and it's a real bad eyesore.
We'll check that out, him.
All right, thank you. And another important thing is our flex money. You know, last court meeting, we were asked to have our list ready to turn into the state. And I gave Rose my list, and I hope that the other ones has got theirs ready so we can get that money coming back this way. And have you turned it in, Jackie, there?
Well, I've just got 4 of them in out of 6, and the man at the state told me that we need to have it in by the 2nd. That was his deadline on us, but I haven't got the other 2 in yet.
Hey, Jack, I talked to Joe Stanley Saturday.
He isn't ready.
I talked to Joe Saturday, I ran to him at Food City, because we may have, since we've had this last round of flooding, and I'll know for sure in the morning, but now we may actually end up changing one of our roads due to the damage that happened during this last round of flooding. But I'll probably know tonight, but if we do, I'll let you know.
I just want to stress that's important for us to get that in so we can get the money back to fix the citizens of Pike County's roads. And after that, I'd like to get that 15 and 16 deal turned in so we get the money back earlier. I was talking.
How much is the 15, 16 money going to be?
It's roughly 47,000 something.
Okay.
And the other one, the first one we're working on now is 48,000.
So we'll have about 100,000 each.
Judge, I'd like to go ahead and make a motion, send down what we got, and then when the other ones come in, they can send them on down there and get it processed, get it started. Can we do that, John? Can we send down what we've got, and then you gotta have them all together?
I believe so.
Joe wanted them all together, because I had four, and I was gonna take him to him today, but I was hoping I'd have him tonight to take them all six to him in the morning, but not worked out, which I've got. Anderson. One and two's out.
What's
And I talked to, the gal that works Mountain Enterprise. She's gonna try to get her help chick on his in there. And she's supposed to come up Wednesday, but she got tied up in something and couldn't make it. But I think she's coming tomorrow, chick, is that right?
How about me? What'd you
Ruth
say?
gonna help you tomorrow?
What?
You said Ruth was gonna help you tomorrow, get yours.
She's supposed to, and when she's supposed to get in. What was that District 2? What roads you talking about up there? Okay.
I'm talking about
okay.
the
Oh,
flex
well,
money where the
she's supposed to
state
be with me
sends them.
tomorrow.
We need to try to work on getting that in as soon as we can, I mean.
Yeah, we do, because I'm gonna need mine as soon as the plane opens up to start doing some repairs. I don't know how, other ones need it too, I guess.
Monday, the 6th, they opened up Monday.
When I first got this job, that's what they told me down at the state, that a lot of money was down there, wasn't applied for and done the paperwork on, and I was wanting to try to do better on that, but it's kind of tough. Like to see it done.
That's why we suggest,
something like I
that's
told you,
why
it's like
the
those
state has suggested we go ahead, while we were trying to close out the 14-15, to go ahead and get 15-16, so that whenever July 1 rolls around, then they will have the ability to get us an MOA back here and get it executed, and maybe before the fall that the plant closes, we can get it expended and stuff.
That's what's happened to me last year, John. We was working on my projects on that money, there. And I talked to him about it. The snow caught us, we had to quit. So that's the reason I'm getting over her tomorrow. And she's supposed to come back in here tomorrow and let me know when she's going to get it done.
If we don't get started, snow's gonna catch us again, because we got 15 and 16 too, he said, after we get this. So.
I can't control the weather anymore.
I know you.
If I could, I could control my sickness. I'd lay over in that hospital.
But last year's money doesn't have nothing to do with it, Chick. We're trying to get new roads put together.
Well, that's why I'm saying I got some of them too.
Okay, that's what Jackie Darrell's needing, is to get the new roads for the new funding.
Okay. As long as I get them, that's all I care.
Judge, I got a swimming pool problem. I don't know what, I've not got a chance to talk to Jonda. I know Chick ain't got no problem with no swimming pools no more, but.
No, but
we've got a bad leak, and
we got 3 number 4 wash tubs up there.
but Paul has been working on our problem, and if you want to, Paul, you can address the court.
What we're doing here, when we're losing 4 inches of water and everything a day, and then we got a major leak. The people that worked on it before, they come in and they want to redo the seams in the pool. You know, they said that we're losing a lot of water through there. But we still got another leak somewhere. We got a leak in the pipe. So this is not all of it. You know, with the estimate I got from him, and I'm supposed to be getting other estimates from another fellow. So we'll go from right there. But it's a major leak we got on it. I think.
So I guess we just need to wait, find out about the other bid you get in.
I'm trying to get a camera and run into the piping to see where it's cracked at or busted at on it, and then the seams. You know, if we see a major leak in the underground in the piping, we may not lose as much water. We might be able to open, but right now, like I said, we was losing about 2 inches a day or last year, and then we filled it back up this fall and plugged everything, and it's just losing too much water. You know.
Hopefully we can get it fixed. And Judge, I had a customer from Mountain Water bring me a letter. I didn't get one this time, but it's talking about the importance about our drinking water. And I guess this is probably similar to the last letter they sent out. And, it's something we probably need to look at pretty serious, because it sounds like the water is got a lot of contamination in it. And, I was fortunate to be able to attend the last water board meeting, and I'd encourage the other magistrates. Me and Bobby were there, and we had a good meeting. It was well handled. We asked some questions about the raises that they're anticipating, and they had some answers for some of it. They said the reason the excessive raise on the sewage is because of the grinders is giving them so much trouble with people putting things in the commodes and messing the grinders up. So we have about 2,200 people that's on the sewer and about 17,000 to 18,000 on the water. And the increase they're wanting, I think, was 159% on the sewer and 22 on the water. And that's a pretty good increase, and a lot of the people just ain't gonna be able to afford it. And then when we get a big raise on our electric bill, then people are gonna have to make a decision whether they buy their medicine or they pay for the water bill. And people on fixed income are just having it so hard right now. And I hope that we'll have a good attendance at the meeting on the 16th and try to get some things resolved. But if y'all could, next water board meeting, maybe you might have some questions you want to go and ask them and support us. And I think, we'll keep working at it and try to get them to get this thing down some. I don't believe people are going to be able to afford that. Judge, that's all I have.
Judge, I think all the masters in the whole county was hit bad with this last set of flooding, because we were about to see a little headway in cleaning up the first one. And but I want to commend my crew. I want to commend Jackie Durrell, Commissioner, the work he's doing and coming over and his support and stuff. But they're doing a good job out there. Our guys are, your guys are. We just got to keep on keeping on, and to quote what Bill Deskins would say, do the best that we can do with what we got to do with. So, the Pride meeting that I went to the other day, there was a letter, if you remember, I shared with each one of you masters back in February, where they asked that if each district could designate an area where they could bring shrubs and stuff that burns, biodegradable stuff, and stockpile it. We could burn it in a controlled burn or do something with it. They're asking for us to respond to them, each one of us individually. I know we have dedicated an area in my district to do that, and we've got a couple of the fire departments, and as soon as it quits raining, we're going to do a controlled burn of that stuff, and then people can bring some more rubbish and stuff in. And I say rubbish, it's not rubbish, it's tree limbs and stuff that can burn and stuff, okay? That would be a big help to us right now with the Pride organization. They've got a couple of events coming up pretty soon, and we're trying to, April is designated as, litter pickup month, and I want to be the poster child for that bunch, because we got to get this place cleaned up. The flood waters and stuff, and even traveling down past us, down in Martin County, down in Louisa, down on the Big Sandy, down in Ohio River. You see that trash and stuff that's built up, and I hate to say it, a lot of it comes from Pike County. So we need to clean up, try to get this stuff cleaned up, and I want to do everything I can to do that, Judge, and I know you support me in that. Thank you. One other thing, Jenny Robinson's not here with us this evening, and I found out that her mother-in-law, wasn't it? Mother-in-law had passed away, so let's do remember that family and stuff. Thank you.
Thank you. Treasurer's business.
Authorize any necessary transfers and interfund transfers to pay the bills, payroll, health, and life insurance.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Mr. Barney?
Yes.
Judge Deskin?
Yes.
Authorize lodging for Lisa Daniels E-Step to attend the Kentucky Association of Economic Development Spring Conference, KAED, in Richmond, Kentucky, April 15th through the 17th, 2015. Her registration is being paid for by Kentucky Power.
Motion.
Roll call.
Mr. Anderson,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yeah.
Mr. Murphy. Yes. Mr. Robinson,
Yes.
Mr. Dotson.
Yes.
Mr. Barney,
Yes.
Judge Deskin.
Yes.
I need an authorization for a check for a registration fee for Lisa Daniels E-Step to attend the East Kentucky Leadership Conference, the EKLC in Pikeville, Kentucky, April 23rd to the 24th, 2015, at the East Kentucky Exposition Center.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson,
Lisa, you got enough clothes for all these conferences? Okay, yes.
The one's here.
Mr. Johnson, Mr. Johnson,
Yeah.
Mr. Murphy.
Yes.
Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
Mr. Dotson.
Yes.
Mr. Barney,
Yes.
Judge Deskin.
Yes.
Authorize the following checks in the amounts. Tactical Detection K-9 needs the balance of the amount owed for a K-9 training dog for the jail in the amount of $1,250. And Blake and Associates Incorporated is an NRCS project for Jeannie at 66 West Helena Avenue. It's an appraisal in the amount of $2,000.
Motion.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson, Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Murphy. Mr. Robinson. Mr. Dotson.
Yes.
Mr. Barney,
Yes.
Judge Deskin.
Yes.
I have no further business, Judge.
All right. We need to go into executive session to,
I make a motion that we go into executive session under KRS 61.810, paragraph F, employee personnel.
Second.
roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson, Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Murphy. Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
Mr. Dotson.
Yes.
Mr. Barney,
Yes.
Judge Deskin.
Court being recessed.
Judge, before you get started, I passed out to Hillman and to Bobby Varney, and we've got those flip-flopped. The Hatfield-McCoy Trail Development Fund, which had the $100,000, was used by Summit, which was a total of $91,359.34. There were two little expenses to a Carl Kahn that I think Hillman had over in his area doing it. So that was really the Hatfield-McCoy Trail Development was used for the mapping. The Kentucky Mountain Trail System was one for the construction of the bathrooms, which is a total of $80,738.59, leaving the $9,261.41. So I just wanted to let the record reflect the corrections.
Thank you, John.
Brian, are you ready?
Yes, Judge, I got a few personnel. Heavy equipment operator, lot number 2, Paul Atkins is the qualified employee, and that will be at a 5H rate of pay. Mini packer driver, solid waste area number 1, Clyde Witt is the senior employee, and that'll be at a 3H rate of pay. Need approval to hire Charles Davis as a seasonal weed mower for the Public Works Department at a 2H rate of pay, effective April 1st, 2015. Approval to hire Anita Haney as a temporary receptionist in the judge's office at a 1A rate of pay, effective March 31st of this year. Need approval for Flannery Blankenship as a temp to replace Chris Stump as a heavy equipment operator on road lot number 5. That's a 5H rate of pay, including his longevity pay. Chris Stump's off on workers' comp right now. Effective April 6, 2015. Approval to hire Tony Dotson as a temporary truck driver for lot number 5 at a 3H rate of pay. Effective April 6, 2015, he'll be replacing Flannery Blankenship. Approval to move Ronnie Dotson from the temporary custodian job at the Belfry Courthouse to a temporary loader man at the solid waste number 2 at a 2H rate of pay, effective March 9th, 2015. Approval to hire James Charles as a special employee with no benefits at the Dorton Park at a 08 rate of pay, which is $400 per month, effective April 1st, 2015. Approval to hire Billy Cheney as a temporary Packer driver at a 3/8 rate of pay, effective April 6, 2015. He'll be replacing Greg Blankenship, who's off on sick leave. Approval to hire Jeremy Miller as the full-time facility service tech at the Justice Judicial Center at a 08 rate of pay, effective March 23rd. He'll be replacing Caleb Ball, who resigned. And that pay will be given back through the AOC state, correct, John Doe?
That's correct, and I believe you need to state for the record what that 08 rate of pay would be.
Okay, the 08 rate of pay is $16.99 per hour.
Okay.
Approval to change Paul Williamson from Director of Public Works to Commissioner of Public Works. And in doing so, his rate of pay will go from 4A to 5A, including longevity, and I will need this effective March 27th of this year. Do I need to state his salary as well, John Doe?
No, the 5A.
5A is sufficient, okay. Which includes longevity. Approval for Doug Lyons to move his personal mobile home to Ford Mountain property as a night watchman at the garage.
And for the record, that's his personal mobile home. He will serve as night watchman over there. He's living there now in a little camper. He has requested that he be able to move his mobile home there, and the county would be responsible for utilities incurred. I believe that was the agreement.
Yes. Approval for Thomas Thacker to temporarily replace Donald Thacker as heavy equipment operator at lot number 4 at a 5H rate of pay, including longevity, effective April 8th, 2015. Donald is off on workers' comp. Approval to hire James Brickford as a temporary replacement truck driver for lot number 4 at a 3H rate of pay, effective April 8th, 2015. He'll be replacing Thomas Thacker. And that's the judge's recommendations.
And if I may, Judge, there was a discussion concerning Hillbilly Days, and the decision of the court in executive session is that all personnel would be working through Hillbilly Days. There's been a lot of questions by various personnel as to getting off on Friday and so forth, but I believe it was the court's decision that all county personnel would work as usual through Hillbilly Day.
John Doug, I don't know if you want to mention or not, but we talked about Ryan heading up the four-wheeler.
Yeah, and Judge Deskins, with the approval of the court in personnel, has assigned all the trail systems, that would be ATV, horse, walking, all trails will be under the auspices of Executive Assistant Ryan Stratton. That would be, Judge, it'll be your recommendation and your motion.
These are my recommendations and my motions. I need a second.
I second.
Third. Roll call, please.
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson.
Yes.
Magistrate Dotson.
Yes.
Magistrate Barney.
Yes.
Judge Deskins.
Yes. County Attorney's report.
Judge, I have nothing. Thank you.
And my report is, it's been a long day.
Go home.
And that's the end of my report. Thank you all.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.